Hi, this is Jesse Stay of #GeekGreens. I'm out of breath because I've been here digging. My back's gonna kill in a little bit. Always happens when I dig. But you can see back there my koi pond. That pond is going to kind of be the center of an entire living, breathing ecosystem back here that I call Project Life Water. And you see over here, I don't know if you can see that over there, behind me back there I've got some tanks, some big water tanks, and I'm going to feed those with rainwater from the rain gutters. Back here I've got my chicken run. I'm going to have rain gutters on their coop there, which is going to feed their pond as well. And then as those tanks back there overflow, I'm going to have them flow into the pond back there, and you're going to see. So let me just make sure you're seeing this. So there's the pond right there. Over there, those there, I actually have another one, a 250-gallon one out there. As soon as I confirm that this pergola here can hold these, I'm going to have a bunch of these all in array on top of here, and they're going to overflow into another series of pipes that will then go over this wisteria here. The wisteria will probably just let wind around the pipes even, so you won't even see them, and then they'll empty into the pond. Now the pond will actually overflow. It usually overflows right about over there, and it will overflow into a series of berms and swales. Now swales are little deep holes, and I actually started my first one. This is the beginning of it right here. That little hole right there, which I dug, is a swale, and you combine that with a berm. This big pile right here is the dirt from that swale, and I'm actually going to have a whole series of these berms and swales. So on that side of the swale there's actually be another berm, and I'm actually going to connect them. Got this idea from my mind just went blank on his name. Oh man, I just hit my head really hard earlier putting these things in, so my mind's blank. Hopefully I don't have a concussion. But anyway, these guys are building this similar system down southern Utah. It's entirely self-sustainable from spring water. We're going to do ours with rainwater, and it should live and breathe, so that will overflow into a series of swales which will connect through these things here. These will fill with water, will saturate these berms with water, and there'll be a whole series all the way back there. You can see that's where my vegetable garden was, and ideally, I mean, I'm actually going to connect those. I'm going to have another one over here that I'm going to eventually connect a pipe that will go across, and it'll be a perforated pipe. It'll go across there and connect that little berm over there. I'll have a series over there as well, which will fill up. I'm also going to integrate the duck pond over here. So as that duck pond fills and overflows from rainwater, it's going to fill up another. Won't do much over there, but I am going to have a perforated pipe going across there also to fill up that area. But it'll also help feed the grass, especially in that area that's not getting a lot of nutrients. For some reason that area right there always loses grass, so this will help that area over there. And I might actually connect it under the grass here a little bit. I really don't like grass, but my wife does, so I'm kind of connecting it with clover and other nitrogen fixing plants to kind of try and let the grass take care of itself too. We'll see if we can make that happen. But I still need to figure out a solution up there. That actually might be fed with street water from the gutters. We'll have that come up from the front yard, and it actually goes on contoured on here. The swale right here is almost on contour, comes down from that corner there towards here. So as it rains, even that water there will head down this direction, and we'll fill the pond. We'll saturate all this with water. The only question is there enough water? That's my big question, and I'm not 100% sure. I might have to supplement it with a gray water system. We have our washer and dryer over there, which I can just put a pipe through, and instead of emptying it into the typical pipes, as long as I use detergent that won't harm the plants, salty detergents, bleach detergents, stuff like that you don't want to use, but I can actually have a pipe going over and filling an area over here that mostly just waters trees, which generally it's not going to harm you with gray water for most trees. Probably won't do vegetables in that area or anything like that, but it will help feed that as well, and all that will gradually combine. It'll clean itself out as it all connects through here. But here's my first, this is the beginning of what I call Project Life Water. Oh, over here, I'm debating. I'm gonna have some sort of greenhouse here. You can see in the winter, the sun actually gets through there. That's actually one of the first areas that sun gets through in the winter. But it's covered quite significantly by that willow tree in the summer. So it'll have shade in the summer, at least a little bit of shade, but just enough sun to where it doesn't get too hot. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a greenhouse over there. I'm going to move that fire pit. We're getting rid of the hot tub here. It takes too much electricity. I'm going to probably put the fire pit over here into this pergola. As long as we don't have flames that are too high, I think we'll be fine. But I don't know. I'm debating on that, what we're going to have over there. But I think that'll be a fire pit. I might do a covered fire pit with a thing that goes up, and maybe even wrap that in, and we can actually do like a rocket stove or something like that to keep that area warm too. I'm worried that one is too shaded during the winter, though. I don't know if it'll work well as a greenhouse, but maybe for colder weather plants we could use that area. But I mean, this will all be productive. Those are all that children's play area is all going to be. You see a children's play area, I see trellises. So we'll have vines going up that children's play place. I'm using the willow tree to kind of give shade to that. That's a little fake wasp nest, because we get wasps that like to play in there when that's not there. When it's there, we don't have wasps, so it actually works. I'm keeping the trampoline here. I was thinking about putting it in ground. I'm actually thinking of keeping it up above ground, and I'm going to wrap chicken wire around there and use that as a trellis too. We'll have dwarf kiwi and maybe even some of my squash and stuff like that will all go over there. Also, in this whole system here with the pond, again, this pond is kind of the center of life over here. I want to do, again, my mind's blank. I hit my head hard earlier. I don't know if it's because of that or not, but over here I want to have, there are these things that a South American culture made, where you can you put little pieces of wood across the water, and then you cover the wood with dirt and fill it up and let the water permeate that wood and the dirt, and you kind of have a floating garden with that. And it's great for plants that really love water. I think I could be really successful with blueberries, maybe cranberries in that area. We'll try a couple other different plants, but I'm going to have a few little areas over there, probably right here immediately in that area. I'm going to have some branches going over the edge there, cover it with dirt. Also on that area over there where you see the plastic, there's a hole in here somewhere, so that's actually going to be higher water eventually, and I'll do it over there as well. But should be really fun to play with. And if I don't do it with wood, I'd rather do it with wood, because the wood rots and provides nutrients and plant matter and bugs and stuff like that, which you really want in your soil. But if I don't do it, I'll do it with rocks along it, but it'll look really natural. I actually don't feed my koi in here. They eat everything that this pond supplies. There's algae there. They eat off the algae. They'll eat their babies as they have babies. There's bugs that go all over this pond in the summer, and they eat the bugs. Haven't had to feed them yet, and they're still growing and getting fairly big now. But anyway, so this will all be filled up. Last fall, I pulled down all my plants. You can see the tomatillo leftovers there. I didn't really clean a whole lot of it up, so there's all these seeds in here too. So ideally, as I dig all this up and mount it over, that's actually going to give life into these mounds here of all the vegetables that were in this whole raised bed garden. I'm getting rid of the raised beds. I don't need them anymore. We'll cover this all with wood chips. Look up Back to Eden style gardening if you really want to understand the power of wood chips. But cover all this with wood chips. I've got a tree cutter who just drops them off in my driveway. I've got to deal with him. I give him free chicken eggs, and he brings them whenever he's able in my area. But I'll actually take the wood. I might use the wood to either build a nicer chicken coop over here, or we'll use the wood to build my greenhouse over there. But I won't have any of this wood over here. Maybe I'll add that into the garden for huviculture or something like that. But really fun stuff here. This will be completely self-sustainable if all goes well. It's just a matter of making sure we have enough water to fill the whole system, and then ideally I shouldn't even have to use even secondary water to fill this. It'll kind of all take care of itself when all is said and done. So we'll see if it works. This is all an experiment, but I think it'll be at least semi-effective. And when it doesn't work from the rain, I can fill it with secondary water, which comes from the canals around the area. That's not near as effective because it has to travel distances and it evaporates during that time, and we lose a lot of water when we're using those canals. But it is better than the city water, which loses even more water and more resources. So we'll see what happens. But and this is Project Life Water here. You can see all of my stuff there. I'll share my progress as we go along. But I've been really excited to try and get this going. This is all a concept called permaculture. Look it up. Go read Gaia's Garden, Gaia's Garden, and it'll change your life. Anyway, that's the Project Life Water.